Well, good morning, our beloveds. It is a Sunday morn, a time to mourn, and a time to rejoice. Isn't Sunday when many of you celebrate your religious traditions? Today is a day for rest, relaxation, and resplendency. We love to use our voice, another's voice, to teach others what it looks and feels like to be a trance channel. Our another is not only a psychic and intuitive, a healer, a mover of energy. She also is a trance channel, which means that she has allowed us to take over her body without fear that we will overstay or possess. Her vibration, her belief system, her inner compass has brought her here, and yet she has much dissatisfaction with the spiritual community, which we shall share today. Her observation is that much like the church, where people join to be part of a group or a team, and yet they don't really live like Christians or Buddhists or monks or traditionalists, whatever it is. Her observation is that within the spiritual community that there are just as many charlatans who pretend to want to grow, but don't. They're distracted by the eye candy, the bling, the shiny stuff. But they don't do their inner work. So our question to you today, our listeners who generally don't fit into that category because you all do seem to care, we ask you, where has your growth expressed itself within the last year or 2 years? Where do you show up differently within your construct? If the aliens were watching you as scientists and they were taking notes about how your behavior has changed, what would they note? Where would they see your growth? You know a tree by the fruit that it bears. So what fruit have you borne lately? Now we know that many of you have had a lot of root growth below the surface of the ground. But at some point, it would behoove you to actually manifest it in the outer world. And we simply mean by being authentic. If you are spiritual, but still hide in a religious body or construct, when will you come out of the proverbial closet? Many people look at those who are gay with amazement at the courage that it takes to come out of the closet and to go against the norm, to acknowledge that I am different and I am okay with that, and I hope you will be okay with it. But if you're not, I'm okay with that as well. When will those of you who are spiritually still hiding in the closet finally come out? Isn't that what authenticity is all about? Not hiding it within, but trusting that the universe, the spiritual universe, will guide you and protect you and keep you safe. And that for those who cannot align with your inner world, are not to have a seat at your table, we realize how difficult it is to break out against these societal norms, but that is what these times call for. We encourage each of you, when ready, to explore, unfurl your wings, go try them out, flap, flip, flap, flop over. Some of you won't do it well. Others will do it splendiferously, if there is such a thing. But most importantly, the throat chakra, which is where many of you are stuck still, is working on cleaning out the debris and in finding safety where you can begin to share and express your inner belief systems. Maybe go join a spiritual group where you meet in person, where you openly share what your belief systems are and why, not judging one another, because each of you will have come to vastly different conclusions based on your lived experience. But what if there is no universal truth other than the truth that you currently are experiencing? And that as you grow and morph into a different being, so does the universe. What if you are the microcosm of the macrocosm, and we out here are simply waiting for you to do your part so we can do our part out here in the cosmos? You all seem to think that you are these small creatures, but if each of you is God within yourself, then maybe find that God within yourself and speak up openly and honestly so your inner vibration can begin to shine and structure itself based on practice, not only belief systems, if that makes sense. You can practice being an ice skater or a ski racer or a gymnast or even a football player in your head. But until you're out in the field, using your body to incorporate those inner knowings, that's what it means to become collaborated, coordinated, and calculated. We need to measure you. And how do we measure you when it is only your intentions in your heart, but no outer activity? You cannot plant a garden without planting the garden, weeding and watering and tending to and nurturing what you are trying to grow, produce, or placate even. We are not here to shame you. We are just here to share what spiritual growth ultimately and eventually looks like, which is an outer manifestation of what you have been so seriously cultivating within your inner world. And we would just like to see balance and harmony, where what you say and express to believe is what you actually believe because you live it. And you have no fear or faithlessness because you know that this is your time to shine as well as anybody else's. Why not you? Why not you? You are as worthy as anybody else to create a ripple effect or impact in these spiritual waters of the cosmos. And maybe if you speak up, it will ripple out and create magnanimous impacts in the world around you, because maybe, just maybe, somebody looks to you as their mentor. And if you speak up and speak out, maybe they will too, because you will inspire them as well to become the fullest version of themselves. But they need you first to show the courage and the trust and the faith that the universe has you and has purpose in planting these seeds of universal love within your soul. Be the change that you wish to see and be in the world. And be like Nelson Mandela, who did it with the greatest amount of grace and love and novelty. Just look at the magnanimous impact that that individual had, not only in his time, but for all time in humanity. And so it is. Namaste.